I almost asked if you wanted to try doing the Gundam too, but I feel like that's a lot right now.
I need to find. I'm upset. I have not
Uh-oh.
been able to start the Freedom
Okay.
this time, and not by choice.
Why?
I can't find my model kit nippers.
You don't put them back when you're done with them?
I no. I put them. You know that China cabinet that we have next to the fridge. My
You
my
mean the one that you're
container.
near?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
you're
no,
near.
I'm not.
I know. You're not in the kitchen. But I know what you mean.
I put my my box that has my model kit supplies on top of there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been to help us out with the house. We've been helping. We've been hiring my sister and sister-in-law to help to help
clean it,
Callie
yeah.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Well, the last time they cleaned, they
Uh-oh.
rearranged the kitchen.
No.
I have no idea where the fuck she put it. And Callie doesn't remember. So I'm like, where the fuck is this thing?
And I'm sure that you've asked them and they don't know either, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. See,
I've gotten to the point that I'm going to buy a
That's
new
why
set.
I asked you where to put everything, because I'm like, yeah, I can help you clean. But if I put it somewhere, you never find it again.
Problem is, they asked my wife where to put this stuff.
Oh. Okay.
In all fairness, I was just like, I'm staying out of this, especially since
look
it's
where
my
it got
sister
ya.
and sister-in-law. That I'm leaving that separation of family and business. You deal with them. I stay out of your way.
That's fair. I get that. But look where it got you.
I know.
Okay, so can't build anything until you find them.
Well, I can build my Lego set, but that's about it.
Yeah, but that's not the death scythe.
I know it's not. Actually,
Do
you know what?
do you have like tools and stuff that she might have put it with? Because does Callie know the difference between that and just like wire cutters or something?
Yeah, she knows what's my model kit box.
Okay.
Uh,
Are you
well,
texting
I'm
your
just gonna-
sister now?
Nope, I'm biting the bullet
Are
and
you buying a new one?
Yep.
Oh my.
Let's see. Holy shit! Nope, not that one. There we go. The same set I bought all those years ago.
Do it again.
Exactly. And it's $11. I'll take it.
That sounds like how much mine was.
Yeah, it was just. I think we might have the same set, to be honest.
I'm trying to think of what Brian said that he was free with, so maybe we can all do a legend run, which we got to cover all that stuff because there's a lot that came out and a lot more coming.
Oh Jesus!
Did you not like watch all the Vidocs and stuff?
I did not. I've been a little busy.
Okay, so you don't know what weapons are coming back and things like that. You just saw mine and Brian's conversation. It was like, what did I miss?
Yeah, basically.
Hello, cat. Everybody's in here now. Okay. You want to take a guess which number this one is?
Educated guess 56.
You're close.
Up or down?
How about we just intro it? Then you can find out and see how close you were.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I was just about to say that, but I didn't want to throw you off. Ramblepack podcast episode 55. You were close.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, almost there.
I was almost gonna say that because my thinking was I want to say 53 was around my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and I remembered making that correlation that 53 was my football number. So yay!
I don't think you mentioned that. I did not know that. Oh, I'm Adam.
And this is Mike.
I did not know that.
I could have sworn I said it that episode. I have to re-listen to it just in case.
I was gonna say we have it on tape.
At least I hope so.
The episode's up. You can go listen to it.
Well, no, I'm saying what it could have been in a conversation, a part of the conversation we did not
yeah,
record.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, no. If I heard that, I probably would have remembered it.
Hmm.
She's putting one of the cats on the other one, and he doesn't give a shit. That's Kermit
Cats on
for you.
cats on cats.
Yeah, that's what we have. Pets on pets. Well, now we get into it. Okay, so since we were alluding to it, why don't we talk about Destiny news? Because a lot has happened in the last few weeks with everything that they've shown and started putting out.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What's been?
You know more about than I do.
I know. You start off with what we've been playing. What did they put out?
Oh yeah, they just put in Into the Light this just released, which was pretty cool. I like the way it's set up.
What is it?
It's a horde mission type of situation.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. And you just keep playing and earn rewards and unlock weapons that you used to have in the past.
For a fun bit of trivia, do you have an idea of where the word or the phrase horde mode comes from? Because it's not like this game made up the game type, but they coined the phrase and it's stuck with everything else since then. Like even Halo has firefight, but it's still a horde mode. They just try not to use that.
I'm assuming it's got to come from WoW, seeing as literally one of the factions is called the Horde.
I can see that thought process, but believe it or not, Gears of War.
No shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They had a 50 wave thing like Destiny does, and with increasing difficulty, like the enemies would get, they'd get more accurate over time, deal more damage, and have more health, and that scaled every 10 waves. Basically, like it almost feels like Destiny has modeled it off of that at a base. Because it wasn't until Gears 3, I think, that they started adding the ability to add, spike strips and turrets and decoys and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Really? I thought that's been there all along. Jesus Christ.
I don't remember it being in 2, unless it was. But like I've done 2 and 3 and gone through like all 50 waves with a handful of people a few times, but 2 was definitely the hardest, and I don't remember there being the same kind of things.
Because I could have sworn I remembering the commercials, like showing it to be like that.
Are you talking about Gear still?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really bare bones when it first started.
Okay.
At least as far back as I can remember. But anyway, the mode is called Onslaught. Hi. Okay, bye. Love you too. And with Onslaught, they brought in a new armor set, and they're reprising a bunch of weapons for like what they call a Brave Arsenal. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of weapons that people missed because they were extremely OP. Like I think you might have missed out around that time that they were out. The Mountaintop and Recluse being the 2 big ones.
Yes.
Yeah, those 2 guns ran rampant in PvP specifically, but they were just a menace in PvE too. Like they were so overtuned because of their perks and whatnot. So they were like, that was kind of like the start of sunsetting the weapons, just to be able to, just to be able to keep things in line with the power level that they're shooting for. Because they kept trying to tune them over and over, and they were still too OP. So they were like, we got to make up something new.
Right.
And then everybody got mad about sunsetting. And they brought them back. So here we are, full circle.
Now here's the better question. Are you able... just because I wasn't too familiar with when they first came out. Are any of those perks still around, or have they tweaked it to be more balanced of the game?
Those guns are still in the game. If you have them, you can use them. However, they have been power crept out. Like, they would still be viable for, like, bump them up to 1800 or whatever and put them in a playlist that does not take into account your power level. It would still work, but the guns we have now are so much better.
No, I mean like where they re-released the guns. Like the new ones, do they still have the the OP traits that they had previously?
So they, yes and no. The guns still work essentially the same. Their fire, like for specifically Mountaintop, the thing that people really liked about it was that it was a micro missile. It didn't have a lob. It didn't have a bounce or anything like that. You point at something, you shoot, it goes to that. Plus, it hits hard. It could 1 or 2 hit kill Guardians in PvP. And with Recluse, it still has the one perk. I know that for a fact. It's Master at Arms or Master of Arms. That perk is on there. However, they've added like so many more things to the perk pool since it's random rolls now, which can also be enhanced later on.
Okay.
The thing is, like, it's still a good perk. It still works well, but we have so many new perks now that do a lot more or have more niche things that fits than that. So you have a lot more opportunities for better things. Like I have a repulsor brace Master of Arms Recluse, which I like. But I want different rolls because I know I can pump out more damage with other perks. Mountaintop, I just want to get it so I can see what works best.
Fair enough.
And they've also, one mission they've done so far, they're reprising exotic missions. And we've got Whisper of the Worm so far, which has been reworked. And later on, we are going to get, I can't even remember the name of the mission at the moment, but it's to get Outbreak Prime. Which that gun is stable. It's a really, really solid pulse rifle, which I think if I could get you into pulses, or if there's any that you like, I think you would enjoy this one because it's stable. It doesn't really move, and it hits pretty hard. And if you get a headshot or anything like that, it spawns nanites that will seek out other people and damage them.
Okay, very similar to the Quicksilver Storm.
Quicksilver has missiles that shoot out randomly every so often. This is more Siva.
Okay.
Do you know or remember what Siva is?
Yes.
Okay, so it's that. The gun is modeled off of that.
Yeah.
And I think the Catalyst gives it... Oh, man. The Catalyst gives it some perk that makes it even better. But that's why it was beloved back in the day, but... Like I said, we've gotten so many new weapons and stuff that a lot of these have been phased out. They're still good.
Sure. But talking about the Quicksilver Storm, you heard about how they nerfed it now?
Yeah, still viable, but you can't get like 3 grenades in one clip of the gun now. It takes a while to build up.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
Yeah. It was OP for so long, though. It was bound to happen.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
It worked out very well. Well, not only is it's you have to fire more shots to get the full round of grenades.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The grenades themselves don't even do as much damage.
Nope, they had to tune that down too because those were. It was like firing a heavy grenade launcher from your primary, which was nice. Yep. I can't complain, but that's definitely too OP. With all this stuff coming out too, it kind of shows that Bungie's listening to the community again. And I hate saying it like that because it's not like they've ignored the community or didn't really pay attention to what they've been saying. But it's definitely one of those, we have no good graces left in reserve, so we have to build it back up. So there was a lot of pushback from them saying, well, why is all these weapons time gated? Why is it so late into the months before the final shape that we get them? So they actually moved up a lot of the weapons release dates, like by a week each. Because was it in a week or 2 we were supposed to start getting Mountaintop and something else, and then after that we'll get not Hothead, Hammerhead and Forbearance, I think. But they moved everything up by a couple weeks just because people were like, well, now we have nothing to do because we're stuck waiting weeks for each thing to be released.
Right.
So they moved everything up. They've just been making good on, like, anytime the community has, like, a problem with something or something's not working right, they're right on it. So they're definitely trying to do better. And they also showed a showcase for the final shape and showed off new enemy type, and a new subclass, which people didn't think we were getting. So yeah,
Well, technically, it's not really new. It's just all of them at once.
that's true. It's technically not new. It's just a combination, but it's still a new thing
Right.
coming.
Right. I was still hoping that we would get like a third darkness.
That's
I
what the
can
expectation
see-
was. So with that, with the colors of the subclasses as they are, if you, I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, but if you look at solar and then you look at stasis, they are like inverse light versus dark. That orange is the inverse of the blue color or whatever, and people have like changed, like made the color negative or whatever, and it's basically the same thing that they used for it. So the idea
Right.
was each subclass would have, each light subclass would have the darkness inverse of it. But they said after Strand, no, we're not doing that anymore. And people were like, maybe they'll show something for the final shape and we'll get the red subclass after all.
Right.
But instead we got Prism, which is everything. It still is going to be cool, though. Because
Oh, absolutely.
what's cool is you still get your regular old super that you pick, whichever one you want. But then you got a
Right.
whole other, I don't even know what you call it, state of being. Like Ultra Instinct, like Goku, you gain Transcendence.
Right.
And then it literally combines your light and darkness powers together.
Ooh, I'm trying to think of how to go about it.
I think it's set for the subclasses. Like when you enter Transcendence, one of the grenades that they talked about was like a trip mine kind of thing that the hunter throws, and it starts off with like a stasis tornado or something, or a stasis dome or area, and then after that starts, a fire tornado starts, which causes an explosion afterwards. So it's things like that.
Oh shit. What I'm actually excited about and would like to know more, because I was a little confused about that with the new subclass, the class exotic weapons, not weapons, armor.
Yeah.
Now, is that gonna act like the ghost, and it not count towards the exotic limit?
It is going to count towards the limit.
Okay, so so either you wear that or whatever regular exotic you want.
Correct. And the catch with that being that the class armor will have things that you can swap out. And when I say swap out, I mean like you get the class item and it'll have 2 different perks on it, and those perks will be from who knows what exotic. And then you can pick between which one you want to use on the armor at the time.
Okay. So, like, let's say, for example, right now I'm using, oh, fucking A. I'm blanking on the helmet I'm using right now. Do you remember? Fellwinter's helm.
Mm-hmm.
So I could find the bond that I want that has that, and then not have to worry about keeping that exotic on. Whereas I can.
Basically, yes. I think the catch to it, though, is that it's key worded specifically, so that way Fellwinter's helm is still going to be the best at what it does specifically, but whatever its perk is or its special ability is can be on the class armor. So, like,
Oh, damn.
there was, I want to say it was a hunter class item that had the perk for Syntheseps, which is a Titan exotic, where your melee damage gets increased when you get surrounded. Or I forget what the other one was on it. But the fact that it's got that and you can swap to the other one when you want, you're getting that, but you're not getting the full ability of the exotic. You're just getting whatever the ability of it is, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay, so that there's the trade-off. They're allowed to have 2 different perks, but it's going to be tuned down to the point where they still equal out.
Yeah,
to
I
that
got a
one
perfect
perk
example
type
for
of
you. I
thing.
just thought of it.
Yeah.
My Void Hunter. I used
Yeah.
Gerfalcons to do invisibility, which causes things to become volatile and explode. And then if I do a finisher while I'm invis, I get an overshield that I can pop later if I use my class ability.
Right.
That Gerfalcon's ability from the armor is one of the perks you can get on the class item. However, the only perk that it allows you is kills on the main perk of Gerfalcons, which is kills on suppressed or weakened targets cause you to go invis. And that's it. You don't get all the additional benefits
Oh,
for
okay.
the class item. Yeah. So,
Nah.
so the
But I
main
get
exotic
why
is
they do
still
it the way they do.
the best at what it does in that category.
Yeah.
But you can pull perks from the other armors on your class armor that could fit the role. So,
Right.
it's give and take.
Fair enough.
It's still cool.
It's basically a matter of figuring out which is more utilitarian in your own case, where you might not as much need the other aspects
Right,
of
yeah.
that particular perk at that particular time.
Or you don't need all the additional benefits. You just need this one thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And with all this stuff, too, I don't know how you feel about this idea, but there have been some comments from, like, what is it, Bungie Leaks? No, they pointed it out. It was from Destiny 2 Leaks. There's a dude that commented before, like months ago, before they did the showcase, saying, no, like, I'm not going to remember what it said verbatim, but it was essentially like, no one's leaked this? Okay, I guess I will. We're going to be getting this subclass later on called Prism or whatever, and it's going to allow you to combine things and things like that. And people were like, yeah, right, that's not going to happen. Turns out we got it. So this person came back around and was like, they've been working on something else, like, actively at Bungie, codename Payback. Coupled with Luke Smith's little message at the beginning of the Final Shape gameplay, talking about, like, the future of Destiny and that is still going to continue on and whatnot. It has created fervor again for a Destiny 3, or there are at least rumors saying that Payback is Destiny 3 currently in development. And the rumored idea is that Prismatic is the base idea for what your Guardian will be come Destiny 3, where it's fully customizable, there's no classes or whatever, you make your own class based on what you want.
Okay.
Nothing is concrete. Bungie hasn't come out and said this or anything, but these are the lines people are drawing based on comments from somebody who says that they have good sources. What do you think about a Destiny 3? Considering when they made Destiny 2 free to play, that was when they were like, yeah, we're not going to do Destiny 3. We're all in on D2.
Right. I don't know. I would love for there to be a D3. I'm just curious as what I'm just curious as to what the spin on it is, or what they're going to do with the story. Because as far as we're aware of since D1, unless I'm wrong, it's been the light versus dark. We're putting the kibosh on that
that's exactly
by the end
what
of
this whole thing is. Yeah, it's the end of the Light and Darkness saga. The other way to look at it is it's a wrap up of, like, they're going to continue on with episodes and whatnot for Destiny 2, and it's going to be your Guardian doing the stories. But if they go the route of doing a Destiny 3, it gives them a chance to tell stories maybe further on in the future or away from the last city or something, where it's a whole new Guardian and you're doing all things away from what we know in the Destiny universe already. Like, it gives them more options and places to go and things to do.
Now, my question is, if they do go about it, are they going to continue the transfer system where you transfer over your account, your character?
I'm willing to bet
Or
not. I have a feeling.
I don't.
Like, well, you know what? They might actually. If they do that, there's a good possibility that they do it like D1 to D2, where maybe you lose all your weapons again for whatever reason, but your character persists. And now that we have Prismatic as a subclass, it allows for an easy transfer of your character over to the new systems and stuff because you're already familiar with it, if that's what they do.
Right. And I'm wondering, like, yeah, like you were saying, that's the episodic things. where that new system that they're trying to introduce after the final shape is done, if that's the route that they're going to be taking with D3, if and when they do actually go that route.
Who really knows? They have to come out and
Mm.
say that it's in development and that they're doing stuff. And so far, they have not. So right now, it's just rumors.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to dream, though.
Right. What I'm thinking is they're just gonna, if they do announce anything, it's probably gonna be after the final shape is done.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what he said, whether it was when it drops or if it's like a few months afterwards that he was gonna share what the future of it is. It'll be sometime in the near future, though.
Yeah, because that it would kind of overshadow the whatever ending or hype that D2 gets with the final shape.
Yeah.
If they were to say that now.
Yeah. Definitely needs to end, let it sit for a minute, and then see what's up.
Pretty much. Not to mention, they also want to hype up Marathon as best as they can at this point.
Man, they need to do more about that. There's not been any more hype about it, and I understand because there's been a lot of changes for that too, and they're kind of heads down. But they've got a new game director on board, I think it is, and from the last time that anyone's heard from the team, it was that they were doing away with fully customizable characters and going the more hero route, where you have a character with set stats or whatever, and then you can change those stats by adding gear and things to them. And people aren't happy with that. Like, they wanted the fully customizable character, but at least there's not a lot of backlash so far. From what I'm seeing, it's just a lot of, this guy's worked with characters like this, thinking like Valorant or something like that, those kind of heroes or whatever. Actually, I think that's where he came from, funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people are just like, let's wait and see, because this guy's worked with that, he's got an idea. But a lot of people are still upset, like, well, that sucks, we're not getting fully customizable characters, because now they're kind of under the gun about getting development done.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, think about it. When they were pulling massive amounts of resources from D2 just to work on Marathon.
Yep.
And shit wasn't getting done. It's
also very interesting that I think his name is Chris Proctor, was like the main guy that was leading development, and then now this other dude is leading the development, but apparently he has been leading development since like a month or two after they showed Marathon off. So it was like, here's the guy that's running the show, and he's no longer running the show. So that, like, me telling you that should give you an idea of like how far ahead they're working on things versus what they're showing you.
Right.
Because this is like 9 months back.
Right. Which kind of brings back to the idea of how like, it still boggles me how did they figure out to do Into the Light at this point? Because because if it wasn't for the delay, we would have gotten the final shape. Does that mean Into the Light was part of the final shape to some degree?
No. This is a wholly new thing. As far as we know, I should say. Nothing like this was in development. They never showed it off, never mentioned it or anything like that. This is just the in-between to hold us over until the final shape, because they needed more development time. But then people were worried about what they're going to do for that gap. So, like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, they had to have had an idea of what their development schedule looked like far enough into the future to know that they were going to have to push it and then pivot with enough time to be able to ship something like this with the amount of stuff that they have.
Right, because that's what I'm trying to figure out is.
That's why we have project
like
managers and coordinators.
Right. How far in advance did they actually know?
Who knows?
For them to have enough time to put this together and polish it, or did they have something already on a back burner that they shelved and was like, okay, now we still had this, let's revisit it and we'll focus on it to keep people happy in the meantime.
So there's no real way of knowing, stop short of working for them, because I'm sure that all their timelines for things are all internal and they're not going to share those.
Right.
The cool thing about game development is when you've done it a handful of times and have a lot of assets laying around, making something from what you already have laying around is a lot easier.
Right.
So, like, just playing Onslaught, you notice, like, a lot of similar things from stuff that we've done. Picking up something and throwing it at something else, defending things, having zones, having certain characters, having different objectives, having things that move around.
Right.
You have all these assets already made. Some of them are reskinned, some of them are changed up to fit whatever the thing is. But you've already got these things laying around. The biggest part is getting the things to talk the right way and coding them properly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just me speaking to. I don't know what it was like doing that.
Right.
But with game development, if you've got a lot of assets that you've built up over time, and it fits, then it makes development a lot easier.
Well, look at the home base for it. It's just reusing
It's
assets
PvP
from
maps.
the prior events.
Well, 2 PvP maps and 1 PvE map.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No. I'm talking about like the actual oh my god.
You can do it.
I'm blanking on what the hell it's called. Where we go to talk to Shax.
Oh, the Hall of Champions?
Yeah. All it is when you showed it to me, all it was just reusing past event.
Yeah, all the holiday stuff. It's like the storage area for all that stuff.
Right.
I thought that was cool. That was one, reusing assets, and two, it literally told a story just by walking through there. It's like, oh, that's where they'd put all that stuff.
Right. Now I'm just trying to figure out where in the tower that part of the building is.
And that's
if it's even
that's a fun question too. Because the stuff that I showed you that could be lore related things, if it's in the new tower, how? That would be the biggest question. If it's in like the old tower or one of the older towers that was refixed for whatever, that's just for storage, I can kind of see that. But who knows? Maybe they're living in the walls and we don't know.
Bum, bum, bum. No, but that's...
Okay, we've spent a lot of time on Destiny.
Oh, Jesus. Hell yeah. Oh, we could talk for hours with that shit at this point. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I just looked at...
I mean, they put out a lot of shit, but yeah. You want to jump into something different?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to know what surprised the living shit out of me?
Yeah, what? Which thing?
Apparently Weta Workshop is a video game developer. I know that I know they were special effects, but I didn't know that they did video games.
I don't know that I knew that either. I was trying to think of what they might have done, but I don't know.
Because when I read this article, I'm like, apparently they're working on Tales of the Shire.
Never heard of it.
I saw the teaser. It looked really cutesy type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
People are assuming it's like an Animal Crossing style game with hobbits.
It might not be that bad.
Huh?
I said that might not be that bad. Although I don't know how that would work, like clothing-wise and stuff like that. Like, can you really work in cooking and clothes design and stuff like that?
I don't know, to be honest, unless they're going like very basic type of shit. But yeah, apparently we're supposed to be getting the first trailer April 22nd.
Okay, that's pretty soon.
Yeah, seeing as it was Weta was the one actually working on the actual Lord of the Rings, wasn't it?
I want to say yeah. I mean, it was Peter Jackson, but he might have got Weta to help with them, I think.
Right.
But they do a lot of... I don't know. I was going to say they do a lot of special effects, but Weta... Or, Peter Jackson did a lot of that... What's the word I'm trying to think of? Oh, natural, but that's not the word. What do they say? Practical.
Right.
Jesus Christ. We're not doing good with our words tonight.
Apparently not.
Well, we have a trailer to
Listen,
look.
if it's the same Weta I'm thinking of, then I'm not too worried about it.
It's gotta be. I don't know.
Right.
Never heard of any other ones. But besides the trailer on the 22nd, there is a Nintendo Indie Showcase starting tomorrow. Or I guess today when this podcast goes up on Wednesday, the 17th.
Yeah.
I think they said it's about an hour of some game announcements and things to look at. Ooh. And just today, I got an email from Deep Silver, the publisher, saying that they've got something to show on Thursday. Putting out a trailer for a new game that they've been working on.
Okay.
Any
more details?
No, that was it. Here, I'll even pull up the email for you and tell you what it says exactly. New game reveal on Thursday, 18th of April. I think they're European, so that makes sense. Warhorse and Deep Silver are excited to reveal a new game on Thursday, April 18th at 7 p.m. I don't know what time that is. Because it says 7 p.m. BST / 8 p.m. CEST / 11 a.m. PDT. Oh, well, I guess if 11 a.m. is California time, then for us it would be 2.
Okay.
It'll be on YouTube and Twitch.
Yay.
The picture that they showed is of a gargoyle like you would find on a church. Okay. Like it's a stone gargoyle attached to the wall of a church, it looks like. No clue. But it doesn't say anything else, doesn't give you any hints on anything. Yeah, no idea. But I like Deep Silver's publishing stuff, so we'll see what comes out.
Do it.
What do you mean, do it?
I don't know. Ooh, I know this one isn't really well, it's not really a video game related, but guess what's getting a rated R movie?
Specifically a rated R.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
TMNT.
Oh yeah, I did see something about that.
It's gonna be a live action Last Ronin.
Good.
Now this is kind of bad, but I'm hoping it's not a Michael Bay TMNT.
No,
style.
God, no. The first thing I thought of was the original. Well, the first two, not the third one, but the first two were like great live action. If they could go back to looking like that for this, it'd be great.
Oh yeah, especially with the way special effects are. I'm pretty sure they can get away with it being more polished at this point.
Yeah, the Michael Bay ones look more like dinosaurs than turtles.
Oh my god. It looked horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I couldn't. What is with him and making characters look ghetto?
I don't know.
I don't know. Just stick to Transformers, buddy.
Even that wasn't that good. It was just explosions. That's all it was.
But it's giant robots. You can forgive that at that point.
I guess. Easier to make robotic faces than turtle faces.
Apparently. And get off Megan Fox's ass, because we're good.
I hope the movie's good.
I hope so, too.
I forgot that was ever even announced. That's exciting. At least the prospect of it is. We'll see what actually comes out. And I know that I saw this earlier because I was going through the notes, so I laughed when I saw that you saw it. So what else are we getting movie-wise? But this one is video game related.
Yes. Minecraft movie!
Okay, that's not what I meant for you to say. But that's fine, too. It's absolutely not what I was setting up. So, swing and a miss. Anyway, tell me about the Minecraft movie. I'll tell you about the other one later.
Sure. Apparently, they just finished principal photography, so they started filming back in January, and in 3 months they wrapped up principal photography. So, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this, but it's been quite a long time, so hopefully it's not his style. But it's being directed by the guy who directed Napoleon Dynamite.
Right, I think you mentioned that before too. Because if my reaction was the same as last time, it's what?
I don't know. I hope it's not. He doesn't have the same type of style because I hated Napoleon Dynamite.
I think
Like, it
you're
was
in the
stupid.
majority, but the people who enjoyed it probably didn't even like it ironically. They just liked it because other people liked it. And those people didn't even really like it.
Yeah, because I remember when it first came out and people were like all hyped about it and it was like, oh, let's watch this and blah blah blah. I'm like, this looks fucking stupid. I don't want to watch this. Like I think when they were playing it in class, when substitutes played it in class, I would just draw because I couldn't stand
God.
watching the movie.
I got away with watching Family Guy in high school. Go figure.
Let's see. But at least from my understanding, it's keeping to the basic idea of Minecraft, where
But there is no
Ender
idea.
Dragon is the bad guy.
Huh? There's nothing that says the Ender Dragon's a bad guy. That's just an enemy you can fight. It's just like the fucking Hydra you can spawn too. It's not a bad guy. It's just a mob you can spawn.
No shit. Okay.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
No.
Okay.
The mobs that I'm finding out about, like the big bosses, I'm finding out through videos that Sawyer watches on Roku Kids at this
Yeah,
point.
it takes a lot of work to get some of them, but it's fun, or it can be.
Like I think I stumbled across the warden's castle by accident.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh,
No thanks.
okay. Yep.
I'm really surprised though that they're already done with the movie. I thought they were just like gearing up to film and finding the actors. Because wasn't Jack Black in it?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Trying to see.
So it just feels like they moved really quick. Also, did you see the stuff
thing is,
about?
it's an animated movie.
Oh, it's animated. Okay, I thought it was live action. Never mind then.
Is it really?
Please don't. I hope not. I want to be wrong.
I hope. Yeah, please not.
Yeah, let me
I'm
be
like,
wrong.
how the hell are you doing that?
I appreciated Jack Black telling whoever it was, like, how come Hollywood hasn't made a Red Dead movie or anything like that, or a GTA movie?
Right.
Could work.
I'm surprised they haven't.
You could easily take Red Dead story and make that a movie. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and as for the other movie, Michael, Keanu Reeves is the voice of Shadow in the the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited because it's going to be interesting, and I kind of like Shadow as a character, but I did not expect it to be Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves.
I'm assuming it's basically because of the John Wick movies, because
Maybe.
pretty badass in that.
So you went that way. My brain went to, they were in Cyberpunk together. With the new DLC.
Fair enough.
Idris Elba's in it, and so was Keanu Reeves' character.
I think that's what the route the article I read when I found out about it. Went. Yeah.
Find any more about it?
I think it might be in live action.
Oh no!
How?
See,
How?
that's probably what my reaction was to before, because I'm like, okay, yeah, that's why I was like, live action. How would they make it work? I don't know. Unless it's one of those, I get sucked into another dimension thing.
I hope not.
What is that called again?
I
Isekai?
could get away with it being animated.
Yeah, animated would make more sense because then you have some leeway.
Right. Unless they're having them wear like mocap suits.
I don't know.
And that's what they mean by live action.
I don't know. I don't care.
Mm.
Tell me about this possible legal action against Disney. 'Cause
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of it.
Well, no, not Disney against
sorry, the game creator of Disney Kart Racer. So they moved quick on that because I had seen them. I saw the news about them changing how the battle pass worked or something like that, and that fans were mad.
Yep.
And now they're threatening legal action.
Yeah, because apparently starting with their Wreck-It Ralph season on April 17th, which is tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Gold Pass will only be obtainable through direct purchase.
And you could purchase it with
$9.99
in-game money before, right?
Right, exactly. They the players had the option of buying with in-game currency.
Mm-hmm.
Free tier. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't be confused. That free tier of the unlockable rewards will still exist,
Mm-hmm.
but not all the rewards, including playable characters, will be available without paying.
That's like
To the point that
almost like the Overwatch route.
yeah, and it's to the point that their Steam page was hit with a shit ton of negative reviews.
As always, is what follows bad news for games.
Uh-huh.
That's actually part of a story I have coming up.
Yeah. And the basis behind the class action lawsuit is based off of the given language used to describe the in-game currency.
Mm.
So, especially where supposedly apparently it specifically notes that tokens can be used to buy the Golden Pass.
Right.
So if they're doing away with that, they have a good...
They have something to stand on.
They have a leg to stand on at that point.
So I guess he lived up to his name, huh? Wreck-It Ralph. I'm gonna wreck it, and he fucked it up.
This is the shit that and we've even talked about something similar to this when we were going over over how they were deciding to monetize Dreamlight, where they were both handling things differently. It looks like Speedstorm went the route that we didn't want Dreamlight to go, which I'm glad Dreamlight, if they had to, went the route that they did. Because had that happened...
I didn't want them to go that route at all. They didn't need to. They were fine where they were.
I'm curious. I don't think so. I think there might have been an issue as to why they would backtrack on that.
We've talked about this a lot.
Yes, we did. And I wish they would come out with it, but they're never going to.
I think the issue with the Speedstorm game is that they could have both. If you want to do the season pass or battle pass or whatever the fuck you want to call it, to me it sounds like it's similar to Destiny's currently, where you have a free one and a paid one, and if you pay in, you get both, obviously. But the paid one, you get for Destiny, you get weapons and armor and stuff. For Speedstorm, you get access to the characters to unlock. But at least with Destiny and other free-to-play games, they have a way to earn the premium currency, and then you use the premium currency to buy the season passes. And like Fortnite usually will do it to where if you complete the season or the battle pass, it gives you enough premium currency to purchase the season or the battle pass for the next one.
Right.
So they could easily go that route, or at least, like, I don't know, make the microtransactions make sense.
Right.
Oh, your camera's going nuts again. Like, even make it to where you can just buy the characters outright. Screw the whole
Right.
pass thing. It's. I was gonna say that's just
Uh,
how
uh,
games are these days, though. Unfortunately, and this kind of leads into something else too that I want to talk about. But you go ahead before I cut you off anymore, and I'll.
no, it's okay. My thing is if you're gonna offer the free tier, the whole purpose. If I'm gonna play this game, the whole purpose is to be able to unlock different characters to play as.
Right.
I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm sorry, no.
Well, I don't think the character or having the characters really affects the games unless it's a character you want. Or
Right.
what would be even worse is
And
if they try to make it to where the stats for newer characters are better for whatever reason. Like,
right.
carts usually have like 5 stats or whatever, and say the characters on the premium side of the battle pass have better stats. It's literally pay to win then.
Right.
And that's like one of the biggest cardinal sins of gaming you don't do.
Basically, I'm just my thing is at this point I thought this game was gonna go the route of like classic kart racers or even like street or like the Tekken games.
There's plenty
and
of
shit
free to
like
play
that.
kart racers that they could have modeled that shit off of.
Right. And you play, and the more you play or reach certain goals or anything, you unlock a certain character.
Yeah. Like just another avenue to do it.
Right. If you want to add skins and stuff to make them look different, then that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't deny that, but to completely gate characters, no, I don't agree with that. Like as an example, if they wanted to offer like a Kingdom Hearts skin of Mickey or Donald and Goofy, okay, pay for that. But if you're gonna gate off those characters behind a paywall, then fuck you. I ain't playing the game. It's that simple. Sorry.
So similarly, you know about the Star Wars Outlaws game that's coming out, made by Ubisoft?
Yeah. Yes, I was very excited about it.
Yeah.
Why do I have a feeling it's...
So, not along similar lines, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. So there was some hubbub about a mission from Jabba the Hutt that apparently you only get through pre-ordering one of 2 different versions of the game, whether it's the gold version or the ultimate edition. One, it always sucks when gameplay stuff is blocked off by extra money for whatever reason, or incentives. In this instance, it's pre-ordering one of these editions. To pre-order one of these other editions, the gold one is $110. The ultimate one is $130. Yeah. This is, do the math or whatever. It's a $70 game plus however much for each of those versions.
Right.
Ubisoft has at least come out and said, hey, everybody still has access to Jabba the Hutt and his missions and things like that. The one that they're including with the additions is called Jabba's Gambit, or the Jabba's Gambit mission, and it's completely optional. It's just an extra thing for those versions, which is good to know that it's an incentive to do that stuff. But people were worried that they were just gating off content for extra money. But it's still a shitty thing to do in this instance too, because who knows how big the mission is. It could be just like, hey, go run here, do this, come back, and you're done. Is it really worth the extra $50 or $60 at that point then?
Right.
And then to top that off, former Blizzard president Mike Ibarra said, maybe gamers should be tipping developers. What do you think about that?
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead serious.
Or maybe you should fucking pay them.
Funny that he's the former president, too.
Yeah. It's like it's the same mentality of fucking with restaurant workers.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I likened it to.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, our prices are going to skyrocket if we pay them a living wage, so you have to tip them. Fuck you! I'll pay you
Here.
an extra $1.
Here,
Huh?
let me read to you what he said. Where's the first part of this? He says, "When I beat a game, there are some that just leave me in awe of how amazing the experience was. At the end of the game, I've often thought, I wish I could give these folks another 10 or 20 bucks because it was worth more than my initial $70 and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second. Except the game shouldn't be 70 bucks. It de-incentivizes people to play them. There's plenty of studies that show that the free-to-play games and those that are marked down or that come out at like 30 or 40 bucks do way better, especially the free-to-play games, because then you can at least control how your money's being spent and you know it goes directly to the developers.
Right.
That's why you're seeing Helldivers doing so well. That's why you've seen Stardew do so well. Not to mention that these games have been great in and of itself, but if there's more incentive there to actually want to go and buy them because they're more affordable.
Right.
So yeah, we don't need tipping culture in game development. Just pay them the right amount. Make smart decisions.
Pretty much. On a very good note, Hikaru Utada is releasing. She released her first. Oh my God, greatest hits album.
Didn't you say something about her
And
never wanting to put out music or something? Or she wasn't making music for a while? I forget.
I don't remember.
Or maybe it was
I'm
just
not
some
exactly.
special deal or whatever for her song Simple and Clean. Or like she doesn't perform it live?
Oh, okay. When she did what it was when she first did Simple and Clean. It wasn't originally intended, like when she wrote it and they wanted to license it for the game.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't intended on being like.
Oh.
Yeah, she thought it was going to be a one and done type of thing,
Right.
but apparently the fan base loved it so much that
That's
she
just
ended up
shit you
doing
never expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, she's one of those artists that actually handles the fan base well, because I've seen actors and other artists who are
Let it
like,
get to their head.
I don't give a shit about this. Yeah. Look at the oh my God, the guy that plays Trevor. He hates it that he gets related
Oh, the
to
association, yeah.
Yeah.
David Ogg, I believe, was his name.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an actor too. He's been in other stuff, but you look at him and he looks like Trevor, unfortunately.
Pretty much. Like, I understand you're not big on video games, but at the same time, you made an iconic character.
Yeah, and you can't say that character didn't help elevate his career a little bit either.
Yeah. His character on The Walking Dead, for example, is basically Trevor.
That's all the character. He had a character in fucking, I think it was either Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, and he was still Trevor. Just not as dumb, but he was still Trevor. So.
Right. I don't know. Maybe he's just playing it off and acting like a crotchety old man because he's Trevor.
That maybe.
But
just keep saying it. Oh,
watch! I'll actually see him and I call him Trevor, and I'm like, fuck.
Hey, it's Trevor. Oh, fuck. Ah!
Motherfucker!
Oh, getting back to something you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What game was it that people went and review bombed it because they were mad? The Disney racing game, right?
Yep.
So that's the thing to do if the game developer or whatever makes some change or does something or says something that the community at large doesn't like. Their game gets review bombed on Steam. Thankfully, Steam and like other places have started putting things into place to identify when this shit's going on, so that way they can like negate it, so that way it doesn't actually screw with their like scoring system or whatever.
Right.
But it's it's directly because of the review bombs, which were, I not necessary, but they were warranted because it was such a terrible launch. But they did that with Payday 3.
Right.
People were so hyped about that game once they learned that it was coming out and everything, and it just fell flat on its face, and it just didn't get much better from there. So much so that Starbreeze, who were the Payday 3 devs, actually, the board went and voted to remove the CEO at the time because the game had done so poorly.
Right.
When I last checked, there was only about 200 concurrent players. There was more people playing Payday 2 still than this.
Caray.
Yeah. So they I think were quoted as saying it needs different leadership, and that was following the instability and the terrible launch of the game itself. Mm-hmm. So they have an interim CEO for now. We'll see who takes the helm later on.
Don't fuck it up.
Not on a board, but I guess you can say it's a conglomerate, a group, whatever you want to call it. There's a new set of studios that actually have gotten together and done something. Just recently a showcase was put on by a handful of indie devs, which was called the Triple I Initiative. And the studios behind all this stuff include Poncle, which is Vampire Survivors, Megacrit, which was Slay the Spire. And then we got Red Hook Games, which did Darkest Dungeon, Stunlock Studios, which did V Rising, which that game just came out recently, and Tiny Build, which they made Risk of Rain. The rumor was that they were going to be like a collaborative publishing organization, and I think that's what it might be. I'm still trying to piece it together, but their showcase, I'm going to watch again, but they were just 45 minutes of showing off games new, old, making announcements, things like that. So I thought that was really neat that we got some indie studios joining together to raise up other indie studios and indie devs.
That is pretty damn cool.
Mm-hmm. Especially because it costs so much money for like marketing and advertising and publishing and things like that. The fact that you can get all these devs together to just elevate like the indie dev side itself. I love it.
We need more of it.
I was going to say, as I've gotten older, I like the big AAA studio games, sure. I like the AA games too, but like I gravitate a lot towards indie games because they always do something interesting and new.
Pretty much, and they're not so serious, to be honest.
Not usually. I think it's cool that like they have the room to play around. And that's usually when you'll get games that will nail some sort of gameplay element or loop or mechanic. And then that's basically what carries you through the game, or it's built around it. And it's usually awesome.
Right. Do it.
I'm trying. Meg's got a game idea she wants to run by me, and I told her, just write me a white paper. I'll figure out what I can do with it. So
it would be really cool.
We'll see. You can be
if
the graphics
the one that
artist.
she was talking about the other day.
Yes.
Oh dear God, I'm not. You know how long it's been since I've touched any of those programs?
That's okay. We can do it hand drawn. Dude, speaking of hand drawn, it's not hand drawn stuff that I'm talking about though. A game just came out today. I think it was today. Today on Xbox, Steam. I'm not sure about everywhere else, but because it came to Game Pass, I was able to download it. A game called Harold Halibut came out. This, I don't know if you remember it by that name, but it was the game that was in development for 14 years by, I think, the studio's name's Slowbro. It's all claymation animation.
Okay.
All the characters and everything for the game itself, everything you do, it's all animated with claymation.
Whoa.
Yeah. It looks really cool. It's I can't really tell you what the game's like because I haven't tried it yet. But it's it reminds me a lot of like Wallace and Gromit, but not not in that way. Not man, I'm losing my words tonight. What's not to an extreme like Wallace and Gromit. It's more grounded in reality. They kept the same art style consistent throughout all the characters and things, but
Yep.
it's that artistic choice for how they wanted to animate it and look is what got me to actually want to download the game and check out what the story is about.
Okay.
So, just putting that out there. Just came out today. It's on Game Pass. Download it if you want. Check it out. Check the trailer out. Talking to you specifically.
Yes. I will be.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say we got through them all, except I'm going to... This is something I wanted to do a little more research on and understand the entire problem. Like, I get it at face value and what we need to do about it, but there's a lot more. There's an initiative that just started in the UK that's working its way around the internet called Stop Killing Games. It literally went live today, I think, but it's been talked about for a while. And the idea of the campaign, which I'm going to read directly from this here, from the website says, and I quote, "An increasing number of video games are sold as goods but designed to be completely unplayable for everyone as soon as support ends. The legality of this practice is untested worldwide and many governments do not have clear laws regarding these actions. It is our goal to have authorities examine this behavior and hopefully end it, as it is an assault on consumer rights and preservation of media. We are pursuing this in two ways."
I would definitely like to see where this is going.
The idea is the very basic thing that I can pull from it is when you buy a game, you're expecting to be able to play that game.
Right.
What do you do when when the support for that game ends and the studio is done with it? Like game preservation and like keeping a record of things. There's no access to it anymore. You can't play it. You can't do anything for it. And God forbid you try to set up your own server or keep these things running, because then they turn around and try to sue you or whatever to make you not able to.
Right.
So I believe this guy was like, if the companies aren't willing to do that, then why can't the consumer, since they bought the game in the first place? Just recently, Lawbreakers, which was a game made by Cliffy B, who was the original creator of Gears of War, since we talked about that earlier. He went on to found his own studio, made Lawbreakers. It flopped. It was shut down. That was it. That game just came back online thanks to community support so that people could play it again. And he's singing the praises of it. He's not going after them trying to make them turn it down. He's happy about it. So he's at least, I feel like he's being more forward about like consumer stuff.
Yeah, because people enjoyed his work. He and are doing what they can to keep it going. I don't disagree with what they're trying to do, because it's what we've been talking about this entire time. We bought a game. I don't give a shit what the terms and conditions are for for buying the digital content now. No offense, nobody's buying the game with the intent of just buying the license. When people buy games, they're not thinking, "Oh, I'm buying the license so I am able to play the game." No, I'm buying the game because I want the game. Games have been like that since the get-go.
Yeah.
Using the terms and services to say that it's a licensing fee.
See, you are
And
touching
you
on
don't
something
actually-
that Activision Blizzard said out loud. I forget where and why or how it came up, but they flat out said, "Yeah, we don't want you to own the games. We want to be able to license it to you."
Yeah.
Which is just bullshit, because it's not how things were.
Right.
You're buying a product. You expect to be able to play that product. You bring it home, you put it on the shelf. You're not going to turn around and it disappears because the company said, "Yeah, we're not supporting it anymore." You can take it out and still put it back in your machine and play it.
Right. Which I 100% agree with. You buy the game, you want to play it.
Yeah.
and that's why people keep their nostalgic old games, because they want to fucking play it,
Exactly.
glitches and all.
But that's getting harder and harder too with technology moving on because you don't have the old technology anymore. And once, like, say you have say you have an old tube TV, that's the only thing that you can play those old things on, and it goes out. You got to find an adapter that hopefully works.
Yeah, that's one of the things that one of the things me and Callie had to do with our Wii, for example.
That's what we did with our N64.
Yeah,
And it works,
yeah.
thankfully.
Well, and I don't know.
I need to get my Wii down and play Twilight Princess now. Thank you.
No problem.
I want to play Guitar Hero also.
Oh God. I want to too, but I also don't want to have to get a whole freaking setup again.
I've still got my guitars in the back and my 360.
Oh my God! Now it's just making me think. Oh my, let's get freaking DDR again.
I used to play DDR all the time as well.
Oh, so did I, until I realized you don't need the pad and you can use the regular hand controller.
I never did that. I used to play the giant machines at the mall, and me and my friend, we used to play in both of our basements all the time. We were good. I still am. I played DDR last summer, and I was still pretty good at it.
I did. I played in my basement, but and got good at it. I couldn't. The machines at the mall were a whole other animal.
Yeah. Still fun though.
Not to mention, it's also kind of embarrassing to see a fat man jump around on a DDR machine.
I have some videos to show you, my friend, of some larger people who are great at DDR.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I was also very self-conscious at that point.
So you are looking svelte these days.
Huh?
You're looking smaller.
Yes.
Yes.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. You look great.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. No, we're good.
Yeah, I think we've gone through everything.
I mean, there's a few things on there, but it's old enough. It don't matter.
Yeah.
The other one, though, Stop Killing Games, I'm going to do some more looking in on that. And I'm going to pull some more information about the Triple I initiative and watch that showcase again. Because I only caught bits and pieces.
Okay.
Yay. Yeah. But yeah, go check out the trailer for Harold Halibut. And you, Mike. Let me know what you think.
Yes. I will.
Yay.
And where can they catch us?
I was going to say with the fish. On all the socials and the Instagrams and the threads. I was almost going to say Twitter, but I actually don't use Twitter anymore. I've tried to use threads more for the podcast. So we're still there, but yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube too.
Yeah.
And pretty soon my bed because I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, you can catch us there, baby.
No.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, because it's too hot. We
That
need
joke will
OnlyFans
never
in
get
the
old.
house. Okay, bye, Mike.
Oh my God. Bye, everybody.